Good afternoon, folks. It is time for well, not another Hobby Nightmares, it's time for a little video that I wanted to do for a while, and that is on confidence. And don't worry, I won't be teaching you how to shave today, so you won't be needing to see me without my shirt on. But, going forwards, I think it's a really important thing to go over. But first and foremost, please continue supporting Composite Games. They do a lot for me in the channel, a hell of a lot. So if you want to go and get anything hobby-wise, then please head over to their store and use the promo code Northern Exile down below. And to get your extra 5% off at discount. They already give you 20% off, so that's 25% off of your Games Workshop products at Composite Games. And not only are you doing that, you're helping me out too. Number two, thank you for all those who have signed up to Patreon, and of course who are members of the channel. You help me so much to continue doing this. I really want to get away from ad revenue over the next month or so. So if I can do that, you're going to make my life a lot easier. And just take away a lot of stress of having to look at how the ads are doing and things like that. I don't want to do that. I want to take away the ads. I don't want to have ads on my videos anymore. So, if you like helping me out, our target is $750 a month. And the link is in the description down below if you like what I do. And also like the video, all that sort of fun stuff. Anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? So, you'll be relieved to know that I'm not going to be doing many stories today. This is going to be mostly me going over some things that I found out over the years to do with confidence that I think are really pertinent to being a hobbyist these days. One thing that I get a lot in messages, in responses, is, I don't like who I am. That is generally what I get, is I don't like where I am in life, alright? I'm a hobbyist, and this isn't me, this is what I get told, I'm a hobbyist, I don't know, I don't like where I am, I don't like how my life is going, I'm just going from day to day, not really feeling anything, and even my love for the hobby is starting to seep away, because I just don't feel like I can contribute, I don't think I'm worth contributing to it. So, I wanted to make a video just addressing those points and and giving you some real tangible advice on how to get around this and how to make sure that your life is going in a positive direction in terms of the hobby. Because our hobby is, by and large, as you know, it's a hobby, it's something that we do in our spare time. And one thing that comes up all the time is the guilt that people feel for doing the hobby when perhaps they haven't done anything that day, or they haven't done anything productive that day, or they're not doing that well in work, or they're not doing that well in school, or they're not doing that well in life in general, and so they think they should be doing something more productive with their time, rather than doing hobby stuff. And to a certain extent, that's a very understandable way of thinking. I mean, I certainly can understand it, but on the flip side, there are ways and means of beating that, I used to do it all the time. I used to be very guilty about playing video games or doing hobby or anything like that when I hadn't quite met my targets that day, or if I was having a bit of a down day in terms of depression and hadn't done anything, I'd feel really bad about then going on and gaming, because you then, as far as I'm concerned, my mind is concerned, you're then just adding to the problem, of being a recluse. So I thought it'd be cool to do a video exploring different ways that we can bypass this and actually start to enjoy our hobby again. Because that's why we're here, right? Here to enjoy our hobby. So, this is mainly aimed at blokes. So, 99.8% of my viewers are blokes, are guys. And nearly, well, no, not nearly, every single message I have talking about low confidence and not being able to attract anybody, or not being able to... by people, I mean people. You're not being able to attract people, not just women, right? Just people, just friends as well. So, first thing I want you to think, who are you without the money, looks, and all sorts of conditional things? Alright? So who are you without those things? Without all of those things, who are you? Something it's very self-actualized thing to think. Like, who are you without those things involved? If I stripped away all of the money, the looks, and the conditional things, like, property and things like that, who would you be? Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you what confidence is, in terms of being a dude, being a bloke. Confidence, simply, is certainty in your own worth as a man. That's it. That's all confidence is. It simply is certainty in your own worth as a man. The worst thing you can think is that you're worthless. That is the A1 worst thought that you can have. Is I'm not really worth anything. I don't really contribute anything, and why am I even here? These are dangerous, dangerous thoughts. Okay, that's because you haven't self-actualized as a dude yet, right? You don't know who you are truly yet. Now, whilst that may seem pretty scary, it's actually really, really, really good. Because if you do know who you are now, and you don't like yourself, that is really bad. That is therapy time. You know, you need to go and get some therapy. You need to go get yourself sorted out, and in any way that you can. But if you can't answer that first question, who are you without money, looks, and conditional things? If you can't answer that question knowingly, stoically, and say, this is who I am, then you don't know that you don't have worth as a man. Like, you can't know that because you don't know who you are without all of those things added on, right? I'm telling you now, 95% of the people watching this video will not be able to answer that question. Okay? I can barely answer that question. Barely. Right? So a lot of you will not be able to answer it. I've known successful people in jobs, things like that, who have been running companies, who have had multiple partners, who have been doing all sorts of things with life, jetting around all over the place, who still can't answer that one question when I ask it. I ask it to my classmates all the time. Well, classmates, you know, students. Especially when I'm doing university. When I'm teaching university classes, that's one of the things that I ask. You know, if somebody's struggling, or if somebody doesn't know what they're doing academically, they don't have the confidence to carry on, I say, well, if I stripped away all the things that you think make you, who are you? And none of them can answer the question. And that's not a bad thing. It just means that you're not there yet. It means that you don't have the answers yet. It means that when I say confidence simply is certainty in your worth as a man, right? You're certain of your own worth. Well, you can't be certain yet because you don't know who you are. Okay? So, if that's not you, right now, that's not something to be ashamed of. That's not something to be fearful of. Alright? So, I've split these into 4 parts, where we're going to break down, well, 3 parts really. I've molded the last 2 into 1. We're going to break down what it is that makes a confident person, and how you can go about building those bridges. I mean, these are from several books that I've read over the years, that I've taken the ideas from, that I try and take to heart in my own life. I try and make sure that I'm following these, and I'm actually going about it in the right way. So, the first one, and this is going to seem very, very, very simple, okay? Get to and maintain your best fitness and health. You feel good inside. It's the foundation of happiness. Happiness can almost never happen truly without physical health. So, what do I mean by that? And are you the kind of person who thinks that they can't do exercise because it's too hard or it's too difficult, or they don't want to go to the gym? Fair enough. Fair enough. How about this then? Okay, start eating well. Cut down on your carbs. Alright, so generally avoid fries, wheat, potatoes, things like that. Normally you can have around 250 to 300 carbs a day, which is a lot. I normally eat under 100. If I can get under 100 in a day, I'm very happy. And I still eat meat, I still eat fat, I still eat all the things that I like. That's not chocolatey, that's not, saturated fat. I still eat really well every single day. I have 3 meals a day. And I even have Honey Nut Cheerios in the morning, right? I have some unhealthy shit in there too. But I just don't touch many carbs. Coupled with this, on Monday, Wednesday and Friday, I either walk 10 miles, or, if I can be arsed, I run as much as I can in that 10 miles. So I go down to my local beach, which is just a couple of miles away, and I walk along there, and I walk back. It takes me about 2 hours. About 2 hours of, exercise. And that's if I'm going slowly, it takes me 2 hours. If I'm going pretty quickly, it takes me about an hour. An hour of exercise every 3 days. No, every other day. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Weekends I have off. I let my body recover. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm off out doing that sort of stuff. And I cannot tell you the difference that it has made to me over this past couple of months. In terms of my outlook, my mindset, what I want to do, like how I want to be, what levels I want to reach. The very reason why I had the confidence to do that video on Monday, asking for you guys to support me, which I still want you to do, obviously, is because I've been building my confidence in other ways, right? I've been building the foundation of me. Without physical happiness, without inner physical happiness, where you're feeling good and how you look and how you feel, that is the foundation. You can't build anything else on top of that, or you'll be building on sand. Now, there will be certain people out there who can't exercise, right? Well, what you need to do is focus on getting better. That's all you need to do. It's focus on getting better. That's literally all you need to do. And self-actualize that way. And once you are on an even keel where when you can do exercise, then get up there and do it. What I'm trying to say is, for the vast majority of people who are leading normal lives but have like low confidence and low confidence in themselves and their own bodies, there are ways of getting fit and feeling better about yourself that don't involve going to the gym surrounded by a load of artards who are looking at themselves in the mirror most of the time. There are a million ways to do it without doing that. Simply go on walks. Every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. I'm not even going to ask you to run. Every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, start eating better. Cut down the carbs, to 60 a day, under 100 a day. Start walking. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're walking. And you're walking for at least 10 miles. That seems like a lot. Trust me, I do it on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday. It's not as much as you think. You're literally walking for an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's it. At a decent pace. That's all you're doing. Stick an audiobook in your ears, or get some music on, or a podcast or something, and head out for an hour or two every single day. Head out. I understand a few you may be working, then do an hour. When you get back from work, just do an hour before you get a shower. Go out for an hour, have a walk, things like that. Especially if you're walking around in work. If you're walking around in work, then yeah, all you need to do is go for 5-6 miles rather than that. Or, if you wanted to do it in a different way to me, you could do a shorter walk, so that's 5 miles, every night. It's easily done. And this is from my doctor. I got this advice from my doctor. I said I didn't know how to lose weight because I couldn't go running every night. I didn't have the time. I didn't have the energy. He said, you don't need to run. You can walk. Just walk every single day. Or Monday, Wednesday, Friday if you do a long walk. Just do that. And that's what I do. I eat well and I walk. That's literally the two things that I do. And I've been losing weight steadily. And I've been feeling better about myself steadily. I'm able to wear clothes now when I go out that I've never been able to wear before. Like tight shirts and things. And there has been a long time where I would get no looks from the opposite sex at all. Because I wasn't taking good care of myself. I own that. I wasn't looking very good. And now I've dropped the weight. And I'm continuing to drop the weight. All of a sudden, when I go on walks, I'm getting looks, I'm getting smiles. When I go out, I'm getting the second glance. I'm not acting on it yet, because I'm not quite at that level of confidence just yet. But it does make a difference. And it even makes a difference in game stores and hobby stores when I'm talking to blokes. All of a sudden, my words are being heeded a lot more. They're stopping and they're listening to what I'm saying. Because I'm slowing down my speech. I'm more confident, I'm more self-assured, I'm more happy in my own skin. And that is something that you can't fake. It is something that you literally cannot fake. And I'll get into that a little bit later on. But that's fitness anyway. That's an easy way to do it, is fitness. And when we factor in grooming into that, which we'll be getting into over the next couple of weeks, you can really start to turn around your own feelings of self-esteem. Trust me. Alright, number 2. Depth of feeling. Alright? You lack edge. What do I mean by edge? What I mean by that is that you need to live in that one piece of edge that is in your life. And what I mean by that is, we all make money, okay? But where do your fears stop you from making a large contribution to mankind? Sound like the Emperor. But seriously, what are your fears about business opportunities, about skills that you have that you might be able to monetize, about going out there and actually finding someone to spend the rest of your life with? What are your fears? Those are the things that are stopping you from living on that edge. On the edge of what you deem comfortable, right? If you were fearless, this is a very interesting thought experiment that I've done with my therapist. If you were fearless, if you had no fear, if you were a space marine essentially, if I could take away your fear so you can't feel it, if you were fearless, what would you be doing right now to make sure that you are making that large contribution to mankind? If you were a video game character in the game of life, what would you be doing? So there's no consequences to what you're doing that you know of. There may be, but you don't fear them, right? What would you be doing right now? If I said you need to go and get your perfect job, you know, the job that you're going to be happy in for the rest of your life, how would you be doing that right now if you didn't have any fear? If I told you that I wanted you to get fit, to have a baseline, a foundation for everything, how would you do that right now without fear? What would you be doing right now if you didn't fear anything? If you can answer those questions, you've just told yourself exactly what you should be doing right now to make your life better. It sounds very simple. It sounds extremely simple, and it took me a few sessions to get it, until I just started ignoring fear, until I was like, okay, I acknowledge this. I acknowledge what this is. It's my mind playing tricks on me. It's my mind telling me that I can't do things. But the amount of chances that I've taken professionally and personally that have worked out, personally would be the weight loss thing. Professionally would be, you know, doing longer lessons in the school and doing things and teaching things in the school that I didn't think I'd be allowed to, but I currently am because the lessons are going really well. I'm doing Patreon on my channel. I'm pushing it. I've never pushed it before, and it's doing pretty well. Like, we're nowhere near where we should be, but it's going up, you know. Things are getting better because I've stopped letting fear dictate what I can and can't do. Or at least I've tried to. I've started to, anyway. Now, try to think more like an avatar of you rather than you that has no fear. If you have a goal, what's the fastest way to achieve it? Again, that's another way of thinking about the question I just asked before. If you had no fear, what would you be doing right now to make your dream come true, no matter what it is? Right? So, here's the most important sentence of this bit. You do not need to succeed. Happiness in life shouldn't be built on a succeeding or not. It should be built on the chase. It should be built on ignoring that fear, going out and trying to do what you want to do. Failure has got nothing to do with it. Got absolutely nothing to do with it. I'll tell you now, at least 50% of the things I try, when I'm ignoring the fear and I'm trying to get on with it, fail. At least 50%. You know? But it doesn't get me down. I know I tried it. I know I tried it and it didn't work. Okay, I'll try something else. I did something, though. I did something productive. I now know that doesn't work. And so I carry on. I go and do something else, right? You just need to push past your edge. That's what that is. It's your edge. Your edge, that's where the fear lives, right? Well, as soon as you push past that, you go past that edge, then you've got it, right? You've got it in you now. You've got that edge within you. You're never satisfied. You're always pushing. Once you've done that, everything else, confidence-wise, becomes easier. Once you've started to self-actualize and started to not let fear get in the way of decisions that you want to make, everything else in confidence becomes easier. And are you noticing now why I've numbered these? Why there was a foundation level for your fitness and health first, and then we go into the more in-depth things, right? Building these on top of your already physical health, you're building confidence as you're going. You're self-actualizing as you're going. It's kind of like a flower coming into bloom, right? You have to let fear... You have to let fear... You let fear stop you way too much in your life, is what I'm saying, right? And you have to stop it from doing that. Pushing past that is hard, right? But the rewards of self-actuation and contentment in who you are, being absolutely content in who you are, those are the rewards. If you know what you want in life, take away all your... As a hypothetical, take away all the fear out of your mind. And if you didn't fear any consequences, what would you be doing right now to attain those things? Alright, now you know what those things are, do them. That's the hardest thing to do, is to figure out, how the hell do I even start? That's the hardest thing. You know, so my therapist tells me anyway. That's the hardest thing. People say to him all the time is, oh, well, you know, I want to get this dream job of like running a Games Workshop store, but I don't know how to do it. I don't even know where I would start. You know? Like, I honestly don't know. Well, do a little bit of research, and then if you didn't have the fear of applying and getting rejected, or having to speak to people in a public space, What would you be doing to get this job? Well, I would, as an example, I'd be writing my cover letter, and I'd be going on a leadership course, and I'd be doing this and I'd be doing that. Okay, fine. Then do those things. You are now that person. You don't have that fear. Don't ignore it. Just ignore it. Just go and do what you need to do. Because half the time, at least, you will be making progress. And even if you fail, you will be making progress. Because you know what doesn't work now. You're eliminating possibilities as you're going on. Alright. So, momentum. Okay, here we go. We're going into the opposite sex stuff now. Because, have you noticed how this is at the end? We build you up into being more self-actualized. Even if you're not succeeding in getting the job that you want, you're still striving, you're still going forwards. And do you know why that's important? Because, number 3, momentum is more attractive than money. And what I mean by that is, that's to everybody, not just females, not just ladies. Momentum is more attractive than money. I am deadly serious here. People, especially women, don't really care if you have money. I don't give a shit what people have been telling you over the years. I don't give a shit what all these simps online have been telling you about women. Women don't give a shit about how much money you have. People get these two things confused. Anyone can have money, mate. Anybody can have money. Your life needs to be moving forwards, and if you do either of the 2 previous steps, it already is. Congratulations. Right? If you do either step 1 or step 2, your life is already moving forwards with momentum. But there are different levels of momentum, obviously. You need to keep pushing and gaining speed. For instance, applying for jobs without waiting for them to be advertised. Simply calling these people or emailing ahead to these places where you want to get a job. Going to college to learn new skills. Training your social skills in pubs and clubs. Even watching this video is giving your life positive forwards momentum. If you know where you want to go and what you want to be and are working towards that, that is so much more attractive than actually having money and status. If you don't know what you want to be, then figure it out. Because that's the only point in this where I'm going to be quite harsh. If you don't know what you want to be, figure it the fuck out, dude. Because I'm sorry, no one can help you with that. And there can be no... You can't just waddle through life being a gopher. I'll go for this, I'll go for that until I find something that I want to do. No. Figure it out. Figure it out, grunt. Get in there and figure out what you want to do with your life. It's not difficult. What do you enjoy doing? Alright? If you enjoy doing that, figure out a way to get paid for doing that. That's it. That's what you want to do with your life. Ideally. Right? If I could pay you for any job that you would love to do, and you'd be happy, that's what you want to do with the rest of your life. It's not that difficult a thought. It's only difficult if you think you can't do it. And we've already gone over that, haven't we? You can do it. You just need to take a few more risks, and you need to stop letting fear dictate who you are and what you do in your life. Okay? So, if you don't know what you want to do, then figure it out. But do not allow yourself to fall into the trap of fear. Find something you love and chase it. What I mean by that is, fear will get into your head and say, well, you don't know what you want to do. You're such a complicated, weird person. You know, you change what you want to do every single day. Yeah, fuck that voice. Fuck that voice. Get it in the sea. Fuck it. Right? What do you do every day that gives you enjoyment? Then do that for a living. If you play video games and you find them fascinating, then go and do a game development course. Get your name out there. Start working in the field that you want to work in. If you wanted to run a hobby store, then go and apply to Games Workshop's management pipeline program. Go and apply to it. Write a really cool cover letter. Come and speak to me about what you want to put in that letter. Things like that. You're gaining positive forward momentum. If you want to be an astronaut, well, you know, there are certain things you just can't do. You know what I mean? Because you need to be trained from when you're a youngster. Here's the thing, though, right? Here's the thing. A guy came to me the other day and said to me he wants to be a pro wrestler. And he's 34. He says he thinks he's too old. And you know what? That's pretty old to start, yes. But I told him there's a guy called Diamond Dallas Page, my friend, and he started wrestling when he was 35. He's a multiple-time world champion and a millionaire. So don't tell me you can't go to a wrestling school and sign up, have a bit of bravery, get in the ring and start training. Don't tell me you can't do that, because you fucking can, right? There are many things that you can do. It does, and the jobs that you are literally barred away from at any point in your life, the percentage is very small. Very small. Okay? Extremely. I'm talking astronaut level, right? There's the only kind of things that you can't really do when you're later on in life. Maybe military stuff as well, right? But why would you want to do it when you get into your 30s? You know what I mean? You're knackered already. So, figure out what your passion is and what you've always dreamt of doing, and chase it. Chase it. Because even by not getting there, you're still making forward progress in your life. You're still getting there. You're still making it, right? All right. So, let's do a thought example. Let's do an example. Person A is a firefighter who loves his job, and he is on £60,000 a year. He's not, but you know what I mean. I did it as an example. He's on £60,000 a year. It's exciting, and he's always looking to get better at his job because he loves it, right? That's person A. Person B is the owner of a software development company on £500,000 a year. But he kind of hates it. He's bored of it, but doesn't want to leave because of the pay. It's too good. He has a huge house and everything a guy could want. Who do you think is more attractive? I know a few of you will say person B, but you're wrong. It's person A. Person A. Because person A, he has achieved some form of actuation. He knows what he wants to be. He knows what he wants, and he's going out of his way to do it. He's going out of his way to make sure that he's getting better at it so he can keep doing it. He doesn't need the money because he loves what he's doing. He's self-actualized as a person. This philosophy carries through with everything else in your life. Literally. If you can make sure that this is what you're doing, if you're becoming person A and not person B, listen, man, you're going to be so well set for the rest of your life. You really are. So those are the 3 things that I think are most important about building confidence. And you can use all of these things in the hobby, in finding new friends, in finding partners, either sexually or, you know, in terms of love and things like that. All of these 3 things in sequence can be used. It's very important that you do them in sequence. One follows the other quite naturally, as far as I'm concerned, because this is how I've started to rebuild my life after a few very traumatic years. This is how I've started to rebuild. And it took me a year to get to where I am now. You know, it took me a year to actually start to self-actualize and start to prize apart who I am and start to figure out, hey, you know what, the guy underneath that I didn't like very much, he's actually alright. I'd go for a pint with this guy. Right? You need to start thinking that as well. And I swear to you, there are very few genuine bad eggs in this world. And I'm telling you now, the likelihood is, 99% likelihood is, you're not one of them. You're just a normal guy with confidence issues. That's all you are, man. So, just to recap. Number 1, get your fitness in check. Start to build that foundation for happiness. In fact, that's the one thing that you can do that's most easy to do, if you've got a body that works. That's the easiest thing to do of all of these. 2, depth of feeling. You lack edge. Always try and live in that edge. Always try to think, you know, what am I doing? What if I had no fear, what would I be doing to achieve my dreams right now? Okay, then go and do those things. Even if it's hard, even if it hurts, go and do those things. They will start sending you on the path to self-actualization and inner confidence and foundational confidence. Even if you don't succeed, you're pushing in the right direction. And number 3, momentum is more attractive than money. It's important to keep your life gaining momentum in the positive direction all of the time. Gain momentum, gain momentum, gain momentum. And in watching this video, you're already on your way to doing this. Alright? So, I hope that's helped somewhat. I hope that you're coming away from that with a little bit of more of a gauge on how to be more confident as a gamer, as a person, in achieving things you want to achieve in life as a hobbyist. And, let's be honest, if you follow these things, you're going to be much more used to us as a hobbyist, because you're going to be a lot more confident, and you can give other people a lot more advice on how they should be living, on how they should be going about gaining confidence and living, in terms of being happier, you know? Alright. If you liked what I did today, please go and support Composite Games. They do help out the channel quite a lot. And also, throw down into the Patreon down below. Every single thing you do for me there helps, and I adore every single one of you. I'm answering messages on Patreon later today and tomorrow. Because, as I said before, I know people said don't treat us as employers, but I do. If you are on my Patreon, I treat you as one of my employers, because you guys are the ones who are actually putting your own money into supporting me. We're not near the $750 target yet, but I'm hoping to be there at some point in the near future, so I can stop relying on ad revenue. If you can help me out with that, thank you very much. It's in the description down below. Also, become a member of the channel. That also helps really a hell of a lot in terms of YouTube. And if you want to help me on the algorithm, if you can't do any of those two things, then like the video, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. I love you all long time, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. We'll be doing some more Hobby Nightmares. See you then. Have a good one.